Good morning, friends. It's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. On my channel, I am going through my good midlife crisis, where I am journeying through my 40s, working oh so hard to get my poop in a group. In order to do this, I have been working on my physical, my financial, and my mental health. And today is Friday, April the 18th, and we are going to be doing a financial health journey video. We are going to be budgeting out the money you see above my head, $1,619.61. And we're going to be doing that in the app that you see surrounding me, the app called You Need a Budget, or YNAB for short. I do this every single week. I come in here and I budget out my money. This is not a paycheck week. This is money that I've rolled over from last week's paycheck. And then next week I will get a paycheck and we'll budget out that money, including the money that I am rolling over from this week. That's how I do my budgets. I do not have a lot to budget out today, which is a good thing because y'all have had a morning already. It's almost 7:30. I had every intention of getting up this morning and coming on here and responding to my comments because I know I am super behind on comments. Again, I don't know how that happens to me, and I'm sorry. I promise I read your comments when they come in. I respond mentally. I have a whole conversation with you. Just so you know, I have conversations with y'all in my brain. But I mean, you don't respond to me. I'm not actually crazy. But like, I talk to you. I respond to you. I thank you for your comment. And then I talk to you and I respond. But I don't actually get like sit down and respond, or as Fran would do, respond. It's my friend. That's an inside joke. I'm sorry, my friend Fran. Every time she mimics typing, she puts her hands up here. And so this is how Fran types. Anyway, I do respond, but I just never sit down and like actually respond to comments. And I meant to do it last night, but yesterday was such a long day. And then after I took Charlie to the vet, got home, got dinner, went up to my wine night because I'm house sitting and pet sitting for some friends of mine that are out of town this weekend. So I'm going up like almost immediately after work tonight, and they go to wine night. So I had to go last night to get the key. If I didn't have to go last night to pick up their house key, I would not have gone to wine night last night because I still have to, during the day today, do my laundry and pack and get together my foods because I have to take my own food up there because I'm gluten free. So I don't know what they have that I can eat. So I have to get everything together during the day while I'm working. I have to do all of that because I couldn't do it last night. I had to close out my budget like last night and pay my bills. And I think, I forgot to pay MasterCard and Venmo. The Venmo is paid. I paid it last week. I just have to mark it as paid. But I forgot to pay MasterCard last night. Not MasterCard, PayPal card. I realized that this morning. And then I didn't respond to comments. This sign jumped off the wall. Like literally nobody was in this room. We were all in the other room eating dinner the other night, and then we heard a crash. Chad was over in the other side of the other side of the living room. I think he doesn't normally hang out over here unless he was over here because I wasn't in here. But the puppy was in the kitchen with Nathan and myself, and Nathan and I were in the other room, and we heard a crash and came in here, and this was on the ground. So I had to put this back on the wall again. That was my night last night. So this morning I got up. I was like, all right, I did all of that last night, got the budget closed out, got this set up, got that hung back up. Fortunately, it was just the sign and all those stickers and stuff stayed up. But I got all that done. This morning I woke up, I got my laundry on, I got the dogs fed. I even like got my coffee and put these things, pancake balls in the air fryer because I'm like, I'm not going to have time to make breakfast. And then I sat down to like get my budget, come in here and get my budget set up. And it said after everything cleared that I had negative money in May. And I was like, how do I have negative money in May? It wasn't showing as negative last night. It's because it synced to Capital One for the payment that I had made last night. And then it said I was overdrawn because even though, excuse me, and when I shrink myself, I'll show you all this, and I'm gonna need y'all to explain this to me because it does not make sense to me. Even though it's saying I have $14 in my household budget, it's only letting me use like $1.78 of that before it says I'm overdrawn. And the only thing I can come up with is but no, it's not even, I don't know. We're gonna have to look at it together. I have no idea why it's not letting me use this money. If I try to use this money, it says I'm overdrawn. So I'm having to use it out of my stuff I forgot to budget for to cover like I told y'all I don't know if I told y'all. Apparently my computer is unplugged, but it's not unplugged. I must have stepped on the cord. Yep. Okay. The screen just went black. I bought reading glasses because y'all, I'm officially old. So now I have reading glasses. But anyway, I went to Walmart and bought reading glasses after church last weekend because I realized I could not read the book that we were reading in Sunday school. Like, I just flat out couldn't read it. And it's been a couple of weeks. I've been sitting there at the table, like, and so there, somebody had left a pair of reading glasses, like, in the middle of the table, and I picked them up and I put them on, and everything just, they were a little bit strong for me, but I was like, yeah, I can read this. I need to go buy some reading glasses. So I went and I picked up these reading glasses, and they're 2 pair, and they were $15. And so I was like, I don't know if you can use an HSA for it or not. I swiped the HSA card because I'd also gotten some of my heartburn pills, but it didn't pull it off with the HSA. So I was like, whatever, I'll just use my regular card for it. But I was going to put it under household because it's not groceries. I'm just like, it's just household. But it won't come out of my household budget. But I have the money in my household budget. So I'm confused, and I want y'all to look at this with me. But I have been spending like the last 30 minutes trying to figure this out. And finally I was like, I just have to stop. I just have to stop looking at this. I'm going to pull it out of stuff I forgot to budget for and move on with my day because I have so much to do at work today. I have still got to pack to go up to Megan and Diana's house. And I've just got to stop and move on and get my day started. So if I seem a bit flustered today, it's because I've already flustered myself this morning. So sorry. I'm okay. I'm okay. I've got my pancake balls. I got my iced coffee. Yum. And then I realized that this microphone is not recording. It's recording from the computer. And I started to try to fix that, and I was like, absolutely not. I'm not looking at that. I'm not even going to look at that. So that's why this microphone's not in the picture. It's not recording. So I'm not going to stick a microphone in my face. It's not even doing anything. So we're going to have some iced coffee. We're going to move everything. And here is what we are budgeting this morning. This is it. This is all we have. Not a lot. 3 bills and then my normal 5 categories. And that's it. And then we can go about our merry ways. So, update on Charlie's vet visit from yesterday. Y'all, I thought it was going to be like $40. It was $72. Now, granted, I did get his heartworm pill for next month, and that was like $15. But they charged like the DAP fee or whatever that is, the shot that he needed was like $30. So that was like just the price that I thought the whole thing was going to be. And then they charged me for the exam. And they didn't do the rabies shot. They said he's still too young for the rabies shot. So I still have to bring him back again next month for the rabies shot. But the rabies shot will only be like $14 because they're honoring the shelter, or maybe it'll be free, but they're honoring the shelter voucher that I got from because I adopted him from the shelter. But they're going to honor that. Because if I'd taken him to the shelter, it would either have been $14 or free. I can't remember which one it was. Because I thought they had said $14, but then when I was looking at it, it said free. But they kept it in his chart because this shelter, they don't normally honor the vouchers, but there's another shelter that they do honor. And so they were like, yes, we will honor this one. And the doctor had to like okay it, like the owner of the clinic okayed it, and so he like signed it, and they left it in Charlie's chart so that they didn't lose it and I didn't lose it, and they had a record that the actual owner of the vet okayed it because that's not who he saw yesterday. So anyway, I don't know if it'll be free or $14 because I can't remember, but either way, it'll be significantly less than a rabies shot normally costs because I adopted him from the shelter. And if I took him back from the shelter to the shelter, that's actually what I would pay for the shot. So I have to take him back up there for that next month. But other than that, so it was like $72 for his vet visit yesterday. So thankfully I did put extra money in my pet fund last week, but I'm going to put a little bit more in to cover it. As I said, Nathan will split this with me, but I just like to cover it all up front, which I didn't even... I'm a mess. Have I mentioned I'm a mess this morning? I'm just all over the place. I did at least remember to look at the day before I started filming, so I got that going for me. It was $72, and I did not put it in to YNAB yet, so we'll do that together. I'm going to cover that, and then when Nathan pays me back, probably at the end of the month, because we're so close to the end of the month, we will, I'll just take it off of rent or whatever. Also, when I set up my April budget in the Budget by Paycheck book, which I always do pre-plan it, I have no idea, absolutely no idea what I did. No clue. But I somehow missed math. So, Libby, you know me so well. It's so weird. I know this is a thing, and I know some of y'all have been watching me for 4 years. And so I feel like I know you, and I know y'all feel like you know me. And it is so weird to me to think that I haven't met y'all, because I feel like I know you. I feel like we're friends in real life. And sometimes I have to sit and remind myself, like, Becky, you don't actually know these people, because I feel like I know you. And you do know me. You know me so well, because you picked up on, like, toward the end of the video that I was getting a little anxious. And thank you. Thank you for confirming and, like, reassuring me that you love me. And I appreciate that. But it really was because as I was getting toward the end of the video, I was realizing that I had significantly less money than I thought I would. Because when I pre-planned my budget, I thought I was going to have a lot more money. Can you see this? $2,044. And what I actually had, so what I thought I would have left was $1,591.38. What I actually ended by the end of the budget last week, I had $1,119. And I was like, I am $500 short. That's exactly the amount of money that I have to pay Nathan back at the end of the month. What am I going to do? And I went through it, and I did some math wrong in this section right here. I don't know what I did. I think I just forgot to subtract this. I think because I started when I did my paycheck, I said $2,166.78. This total is $548. And then I ended this with $2,044. $2,166.78 minus $548 is not $2,100. Like, that's only $100 less. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know what I mismathed, how I came up with that number. But this was at the beginning. And so when I got to the end of the month, I was going to be significantly short. And I didn't realize it until I was in the middle of that video last week. And I was getting toward the end of it. And I was like, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money, and I don't know what I'm going to do. So that's what was the end of the last week's video. And I thought I had covered it well, but y'all know me so well that you picked up on it. That's what was going on at the end of last week's video. But what I decided to do is, as I've mentioned before, I have access to a couple of my mom's accounts. And my mom, I paid for my mom's refrigerator. Like, I just paid for it. Well, it's on my Best Buy card. So what I decided to do is just transfer from one of my mom's savings accounts into my savings account, $500 of the dollars for her fridge. Her fridge was just a little over $600. She's already given me $100 of it. I transferred the other $500 into my account, which technically it's the same account. Like, it's all in the same account. Like, they're linked. So she's already paid me back for her refrigerator, technically. So that's what I did, just to cover everything, to make sure I'm good. And then instead of her paying me back, when she pays me back, we'll put it back into her savings account instead of into her paying me back. And then I'll transfer the money when she pays me back to the Best Buy card to pay off her refrigerator. And that way I'm good for right now, the urgent emergency situation that I found myself in last week. That's how I'm covering it. So you will see, if you were paying attention last week, I don't know why you would remember my budget from last week, how much money I had, but this is higher than I had at the end of last week because I transferred $500 into it, because I mismathed when I was doing this, and I was $500 short, and I was going to be short. Nathan would have been totally okay with me missing, like being late on a payment. I would not have been totally okay with that. So this is how I did it. Everything going forward will be okay. It was just this initial one, and I would not have been okay with it. So that's why I panicked at the end of last week's video. I thought I stayed cool, but you picked up on it. So anyway, that's why that number is higher. So that's what this number is. $1,619.61 is what I have to budget this week. I'm going to cover that extra like $20 for Charlie's vet visit, the 4 bills that I have for this week, and then my 5 regular weekly visits, weekly things that I do. Oh, why do I have so much? Because I'm back in last week's week. My 3 bills for this week. Okay, so let's get me out of the way and we'll get this done so I can get my day started. My phone is going a little bit haywire. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me just check it and make sure that's not one of my employees. Probably my mom. Oh no, it is one of my employees, but it's all okay. Okay. All right. So, check it out, y'all. I didn't go out to eat at all this week. Not at all. Though my groceries, as anticipated, were slightly higher because of the brisket. That brisket was so amazing. And there will be footage of it in my health vlog that should be coming out on Sunday. Megan, don't forget to leave me your Wi-Fi password so I can do my vlogging and respond to my comments and whatnot. But anyway, that is that I did. So my grocery budget's pretty much spent, but I didn't touch my dining out budget at all this week. Ecclesial expenses, I did not go out for lunch, but I used the $20 to cover household because I bought that rug that I wasn't planning to buy. And then my filter shipped. So I moved the $20 into my like air filters for my bedroom, my air purifier. So I use that to cover. And then as I said, I have money in my household budget right here. I have $14.83 in my household budget that I cannot use. It will not let me use it. Every time I try to, it says I'm overspent. Why would that happen? I very clearly have $14 available. If I try to move it, it says I'm like, look. If I move this to stuff I forgot to budget for to cover the money that I spent, it now says that I am overspent on my payment that I made to Capital One, and that where is it? It was saying that I had money in May that was, because I have money up here that I could do before I didn't have money up there. So I'm going to undo that, and I'm just going to leave it there. But why would it do that? Why would it say that this money that is green and available to spend is overspent if I use it? Why is it doing that? Somebody help me. Somebody who's much better with this, help me. The only thing I can come up with is that I had some cash back and I moved it into this category, but it wasn't this amount. It was more than this amount. It was like $25, so it was more than this amount, and it's not giving me any problems if I use that amount. Like, it's only, I think I can use $1.75 of this before it gives me that error. So what is it about like the other $13 and whatever? I can't math that in my head, but what is it about that money that it won't let me use? Why can't I use that money? Why can't I use that money? Anyway, if anybody knows, please tell me, because it's driving me crazy. And now I've spent another 5 minutes talking about it because it's driving me crazy. But I'm going to move on. I promise I'm moving on. So I'm going to put another $50 in here. I give myself $50 every single week for for dining out. I will probably actually dine out a couple of times this weekend because, as I said, I will not be home. I'm house sitting. So that is, I will probably eat. I definitely will eat out tonight. I'll stop and pick up some food on my way up there. Probably Torchy's tacos because yum. And then I don't know what my plans are at all tomorrow. I'll just be hanging out with puppies. 1 puppy and 2 kitties. That's just gonna hang out on the couch with. It's supposed to be rainy this weekend, so that's just my plan. I'm just gonna chill. Groceries, I gave myself $125 every week. I have been using that, but I think I've been using that because I haven't been eating out like at all. So it's much easier to hit your grocery budget when you're not eating out. Ecclesial expenses, this is $80 every single week, $60 for the actual donation for my church, and $20 if we go out for a meal afterwards. That $20 does not count at all toward my dining out. And even that I didn't use this week, so I didn't use it. Coffee, I give myself $25 every week for my Dutch Brothers app. I only went to Dutch Brothers once this week because I didn't go to the gym on Tuesday. I didn't set my alarm, and I totally, like, I woke up with a jolt at almost 6 o'clock, and I normally get up at 5 o'clock on days I go to the gym, so I did not get to the gym. I give myself $15 every single week for fun money. Y'all, I went and saw, ooh, that's a lot of fun money. I was going to have a lot of fun this weekend. I went and saw The Amateur on Saturday. I very much liked it. I liked it a lot. I mean, it's not going to win any awards. It's not something I'm going to watch on repeat. But if you like spy movies, you will like this movie. I liked it a lot. So it was fun. So yeah, I recommend it. And it was fun to see in the theater. Until some guy that I picked a seat specifically that had, like, there was a couple sitting here, and then I left a seat, and then I picked the next two seats. Some guy came in 30 minutes into the movie, 45 minutes into the movie, with a bag of nachos, like in a crinkly bag, sat there, crinkling the bag the whole time, chomping on his nachos, picked up his cell phone, bright light in the theater, was texting somebody, and then with about 45 minutes left of the movie, got up and walked out. And I was like, don't be that person. Okay, don't do that. That's rude. Alamo, Flicks, those people, they'll kick you out. Don't be that person. Oh, it was so annoying. Anyway, but other than that, annoying, rude person. And he was also super tall, which is whatever. I mean, you can be tall, that's fine. At least it wasn't sitting directly in front of me. But he, like, stood there for a minute, kind of almost in front of me. And he was directly in front of the projector, too. So, like, when he was standing to try to sit down 30 minutes into the movie. And, there's, like, 30 minutes of previews before the movie starts. So he's, like, an hour after the showtime starts, and he's showing up to the movie. Have I mentioned that lateness, the only thing that makes me, like, gives me anxiety is being late to things? Anyway, also apparently when my budget's $500 short, fun money, I give myself $15. I did get popcorn and a Diet Coke at that movie because we did not go out for dinner because it would have been too long away from Charlie, leaving him in the crate by himself. We didn't want to do that, so that's all I had for dinner on Saturday was popcorn and a Diet Coke. I don't put anything in gas or self-care on days of the on days that are not paydays. So as I said, I'm not even going to try to math this. I absolutely could math $72 minus 45, but I'm not going to. I need $27. I'm just going to put an extra $30 into pet expenses to cover Charlie's vet visit. As I said, Nathan will pay me back for half of it. I'm not going to ask him to pay me back for the heartworm pills because I don't think I don't know. That was my decision. We didn't discuss that ahead of time. If he wants to pay me back for it, he can, but I don't normally ask him to pay me for things we didn't pre-discuss. That was just me saying, hey, I want this. Okay. Then my bills. My care credit card is going to be due. Also, when I went to the grocery store, so HEB, if you swipe your care credit card or your HSA card, I found this out the hard way when I first had my HSA card. They will just swipe the whole order, the whole thing. It doesn't, like, only take off what's appropriate for HSA. I found that out the hard way the first time I used it, like, years and years ago. And, like, my whole grocery order charged to my HSA card, and then I had to, like, figure out what was appropriate or not, and, like, that was not fun. So now I do a separate order for the things that are HSA appropriate when I go to HEB. And so I had, like, a separate order of only, like, the 3 things that were for HSA purchase when I was at HEB, and then the rest of my groceries are in a separate order. And that way I know what's HSA. So I had, like, my 3 things that were for HSA first. But when I pulled out the card, I accidentally pulled out this care credit card instead of the HSA card and swiped that because I keep them in the same little pocket of my wallet because they're my doctor cards, my, like, cards that I use for medical stuff. So I have that, but I mean, I covered it. I moved the money from my household budget to that instead of, because I can't. I'm just not going to worry about it. But anyway, so that's on my care credit card. Charlie's vet visit is on my care credit card, but those are already like funded, ready to go. So like HEB, yeah, I spent $32.01 at HEB. It's funded. I covered it with groceries apparently. Um, and then I'll pay that this week, and then I will also, that's cleared. And then I'll also put Charlie's vet visit on here yesterday. What's it? What is it? Comanche Trail. And it was Charlie Parvo shot, and it was $72. And I don't think it's cleared yet. So, and then I will put into down here credit card payments for care credit. I'm going to do another 70. What do I? Care credit, I do $70 a month. So now I have $174.01 that I will make to care credit this week. Care credit, for some reason, is not going to auto draft my payment. I have them set up to auto draft $70 every month, but they sent me a notice last week, 2 weeks ago, that they weren't going to do an auto draft because I had already made a payment this month, because I used it for Charlie's last vet visit. And so since I had already made a payment, they're like, you don't have a minimum payment balance due. We're not going to auto draft. And I was like, I still want you to take an auto payment because what I paid was not for that. It was for the charge I made this month. So I'm going to do this, and then maybe that means I won't auto draft next month. I don't know. Whatever. I'm still going to pay this card off like next month, maybe the month after, whenever it'll be paid off before it's due. So that one is due. My Mattress Firm card is due, which is $80 a month. That's not an 80. That, I don't know what that was. And then my internet is due on the 23rd. That is $80.33. And look at me, I remembered to fill those down, actually $80.55. Can't read my own handwriting. I filled those down in the actual credit card section. So because I kept forgetting to fill those, I created these up here, which were little cheat sheets for myself. So YNAB has credit cards, and if you link a credit card, or not even link a credit, if you make an account that is a credit card account, it automatically puts it into this credit card section. You can't move it out of this section, which is fantastic. But also, if your brain is like mine, you will forget to come down here and fill it when you're filling your bills. So I kept forgetting to fill them while I was filming these videos. So a bunch of y'all suggested that I make a section up here in my bills section so that I would remember to fill it, and then I could move it down here when I was making payments. But this week I actually remembered to fill them in the credit card section. So I'm going to just snooze them up here. I don't need to fill both of those. I'm not paying them twice. So I don't need to pay them. This one is an actual just bill. So now all of my bills are paid. The way I do my budgets is I do them from a Thursday through a Friday. I'm sorry, from a Friday through a Thursday. So this week will go from the 18th through next Thursday, the 24th. So that's the last bill I have to fund. The next bill that is due for me is on the 26th. And that'll come out of next week's paycheck. So that's everything I have. I am going to try to do my May setup. I'm going to tell y'all I did not order stickers yet because she always does sales. I order my stickers from Jennifer Bleacher at Life in Envelopes for my my Budget Moms paycheck book. And she always does sales at holidays, and it is Easter weekend this weekend. Happy Easter. So I wanted to wait for her sale to order them, but that means they won't be here in time for me to film my budget setup. So I will have stickers. I will not have stickers for my May setup probably, but I will order a couple of sets of stickers during her sale so that I'll have them going forward. And that's just me trying to be a little bit more budget conscious when I'm ordering my stickers. So that's all I've got. It is 7:55. I have to go to work, but I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I know it is a holiday weekend for a lot of people. I hope you enjoy it. Have some family time. Have some good, my family has never really celebrated Easter. I am a religious person, but we just don't celebrate Easter as a specific holiday. So I don't know what the actual Easter meal traditions are, but I hope that you enjoy them. I know it is a big deal. So I hope you have a lot of fun family plans this weekend. I hope the kids have super fun out, and the weather is cooperative. I think it's going to be rainy here. So not cold, just rainy. But I know up north where I'm from, it was always cold. Like sometimes it even snowed on Easter Sunday. So enjoy it. Have a fantastic weekend. And don't forget to give this budget video a thumbs up on your way out and subscribe if you want to come along with me. I love you all, and I will talk to you later. Bye.